Now let's talk about Giorgia Meloni, the Italian Prime Minister. She's in China this week trying to pull off a tough balancing act. It's an awkward trip for Meloni. Last year, she pulled Italy out of the BRI, the Belt and Road Initiative, Xi Jinping's flagship project. Under her, Italy dumped it. But now Rome is having a rethink about its relationship with Beijing. Meloni says she wants to quote-unquote relaunch ties. Listen to this.
I am very pleased to be here for my first official trip to China since the beginning of my government. This is a clear demonstration of the will to begin a new phase, to relaunch our bilateral cooperation.
In that spirit, Giorgia Meloni met China's top leaders, starting with Chinese Premier Li Qiang. This meeting took place yesterday. They signed a three-year action plan covering several areas like trade, investment, education, food, security and environment. Italy and China want to boost collaboration on all these fronts. And today, Giorgia Meloni met Xi Jinping, the Chinese president. The Italian Prime Minister struck a conciliatory tone. She called China, and I'm quoting again, an important interlocutor on the world stage. And Xi Jinping reciprocated. He hailed China's relationship with Italy.
China and Italy should uphold the spirit of the long history of the Silk Road and view and develop bilateral relations from a historical perspective, a strategic height, and a long-term perspective, so as to promote the international community to seek common ground and expand consensus.
Meloni and Xi said all the right things. The optics were well managed, but they could not paper over the tensions, especially on the trade front. The Chinese premier spoke about this. He said China is ready to open up to Italy, but they want something in return.
China's door of opening up will always be open to companies from Italy and other countries. At the same time, we hope the Italian side will work with China to provide a more fair, just and non-discriminatory business environment for Chinese companies doing business in Italy.
What is he referring to? Meloni's policies, her attempts to check China's growing economic influence. Premier Li could be hinting at some recent events. The first one involves Pirelli. It's a major tire manufacturer. This company sells tires in more than 160 countries. Pirelli tires are also used in motorsport competitions like Formula One, so it is quite a famous brand. It is also a brand which is synonymous with Italy. Pirelli has been around for more than 150 years. But today, its biggest shareholder is a Chinese company, China's state-owned chemical giant Sinochem. Sinochem owns a 37% stake in Pirelli. Earlier this year, Sinochem tried to take control of the company. But Rome blocked this move, citing national security concerns. The Italian government ensured that Pirelli's control remained in Italian hands. That's Marco Tronchetti Provera. He's a top executive of Pirelli. The Meloni government gave some clear orders. They said only Provera and his private investment company Camfin can appoint the CEO of Pirelli. Now, Camfin is the second largest shareholder in this tire maker. It owns around 22% of the shares. So thanks to the government order, Pirelli still remains in Italian hands. Obviously, this did not sit well with the Chinese. And this is just one sticking point. Italy also backs Brussels on Chinese EV tariffs. The European Union wants to restrict the import of Chinese cars and especially Chinese electric vehicles. And to do so, they've hiked import duties on Chinese EVs. So some car makers now face up to 37% in extra taxes, 37% extra tax if they import an electric car from China to Europe. Again, Beijing does not like it, so it is pushing back and retaliating. I'll tell you how. China is investigating European imports. It's targeting European imports, European products that are imported by China, like pork, cognac, and high-end cars. So there's a tug-of-war between Europe and China, and Giorgia Meloni is on the European side. Italy has voted in favor of higher taxes on Chinese cars. What does all of this tell you? That Giorgia Meloni knows where to draw the line. She has been a vocal critic of China where it matters. Her track record is also consistent. In 2008, Meloni was a junior minister in the Silvio Berlusconi government. She was a youth minister, and in that capacity, she had urged Italian athletes to boycott the opening ceremony of the 2008 Olympic Games. To boycott it over China's human rights record, particularly in Tibet. Because in 2008, Beijing had hosted the Games. And now, as Prime Minister in 2024, Meloni is pushing back against Chinese dumping, while also looking to tap Chinese investment to boost growth at home. It is what we called it in the beginning, a tough balancing act.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
On this today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the Western